We are live at Karl Engel Field on the campus of Riverdale High School for tonight's varsity football game between the 0-5 Desoto County Bulldogs and the 2-4 Riverdale Raiders. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to the Rush Radio Network for some high school football action. This is Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play for what is going to be a very exciting event, and that's because it's homecoming night here at Riverdale. The stands are jam-packed, and these fans are hoping for a big win in the favor of RHS. The 2-4 Raiders have recently fallen onto some hard times as they enter tonight's contest on a 2-game losing streak. The last time Riverdale was here at Karl Engel Field, they fell late to Ida Baker by a 17-6 outcome. In their most recent contest last Friday night, RHS dropped a heartbreaking loss to the division rival Gulf Coast Sharks as they were defeated by a 32-14 final score. Things have been looking bleak for DeSoto County this season as well as they come to Riverdale tonight with an 0-5 record, currently winless and halfway through their regular season schedule. Previously, they have been blown out in almost every game as they were given losses against Sebring, where they lost 41-0, Avon Park 37-10, Clearwater Central Catholic 27-7, Lemon Bay 23-3, and finally, Southeast High School, where the Bulldogs fell by a 28-3 outcome. In those 5 games, DeSoto County is combined for just 23 points. And in just a few moments, we will have your opening kickoff for tonight's contest. But first, let's talk about your uniforms. Let's start with the visiting DeSoto County Bulldogs. They are dressed in their road white jerseys, dark blue numbers on the front and back, with dark blue pants and silver helmets. For the home Riverdale Raiders, they are dressed in their garnet red uniforms, white numbers on the front and back, and white pants with gold helmets. And we're just about set to go. Riverdale is going to take the ball on the offense first to begin the game. Riverdale will be controlling the ball from right to left here as we begin your first quarter of play, live from Riverdale High School in Fort Myers, Florida. So we're just about set as the ball is teed up. It's about to be kicked away by number 34, Cesar Barajas. It's up, and we are officially underway. The ball is fumbled at the 15-yard line. It's recovered by the Raiders across the 20, and it's a big scramble for the ball. It's fumbled a second time, and now this is a big disaster. DeSoto County says they have the ball, and it looks like they do. That is possibly the worst way to begin a football game. Raiders fumbled the ball twice on one play. That was absolute madness. Right when the ball hit the receiver's hands, he dropped it, recovered it, and in the middle of a scramble around the 25-yard line, the ball was stripped loose again, and that's where the Bulldogs took the advantage. So it's going to be DeSoto County taking the ball first instead as we begin the action. Shotgun formation from your starting quarterback who delivers the handoff down the middle across the 20, and he's going to get a nice gain on the play. So now we are officially underway as the ball is spotted at the 20-yard line and the attacking end of DeSoto County. Your quarterback, the starter for DeSoto County, is number 14, Malcolm Smith, who we will discuss more in just a moment. He's in shotgun once again. There's your snap. Delivers a handoff to number 21. Zigging and zagging down the near side, and he's going to be taken down around the first down marker. And we'll see the official ruling on that play. It looks like they're going to call it third down and just short barely. On the carry was number 21, who is not on my roster sheet, unfortunately. And that number 21 is back on this next play. It's I formation for DeSoto. Handoff down the middle once again, and he's going to be dragged down towards the far sidelines. And is that going to be fourth down? I believe it is, and it will be. DeSoto County in great territory to draw first blood. And with it being fourth down, let's see if they go for a field goal. They have the line change going for the Bulldogs, so looks like this might be the case. 10-14 and running remaining on your first quarter clock. Once again, just underway with a scoreless tie. And you have your kicker out for DeSoto County. The kick is up, and it's good. So it's now 3-0 for the DeSoto County Bulldogs. That was just an unbelievable way to start the game. Riverdale fumbled it off the opening kickoff. DeSoto County had a great opportunity to draw first blood, and they did exactly that. Unfortunately, it wasn't the touchdown they were looking for, but it was a field goal, and that's going to pull them in the lead with 9:51 remaining and your first quarter of play. You have your line change, and we are going to get back to action here in just a moment, as Riverdale is going to get the ball back again, and let's hope they can make a change for the better. So Cesar Barajas is going to come back out for the second time in about 5 minutes to kick the ball from the 40 here on homecoming night. It's a big crowd at Riverdale High School, as one may imagine. It's that one night of the year where fans come out and they really do show the school spirit. This was a wobbly play as it's going to be returned around the 30-yard line, and that man is going to be dragged down. On the return was Daniel Malivert, a 5'10" senior. So Riverdale, they finally now have possession of the ball, and they'll go on their first opening drive of the ball game. As usual, it's going to be Daniel Ulmer, the starting quarterback for Riverdale, guiding the offensive line, and let's hope they can get back into the swing of things after a not-so-good start. Ulmer is back in the shotgun. Men on the Raider offensive line still trying to find their way around. Snap by Ulmer. He's going to give the handoff down the far side. He's going to be pulled out to play around the 35. And it's going to be 2nd down and 4 for the Raiders. Ball on the 35, 9:28 remaining in your first. Thank you for joining us for some high school football. This is Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play action. As the clock is running, Ulmer is back. Same formation as last. Man in motion in front of Ulmer from right to left. That's number 3 as he delivers the handoff, and let's see who's going to be the ball carrier there. It's going to be number 20, Keenan Walker. And that's going to be his second consecutive carry on the drive. And it's going to be 3rd down for Riverdale. Hoping to convert. Already down by 3. Ulmer's back again. I remember 2 weeks ago when we were back here at Riverdale, Ulmer, for a majority of the plays, was back in the shotgun. This time he's going to go for the quarterback keeper across the 40, and he will be stopped right on the 40-yard line. That's going to be 4th down. Well, that time you could see Ulmer. He knew what he was doing right off the draw. He had the ball in his hands and tried to race off in front of the Raiders' sidelines down the far side. But he was just caught right in the line of scrimmage where those defensemen were. So it didn't work out like he planned it to. And it's going to be 4th down and about 2 on the play. Now the Raiders' offensive line is waiting out there for a call. And are they going for a 4th down conversion? It looks like they are. Very interesting decision. Man in motion, that's Daniel Malivert. And now Ulmer just gets laid out on the 35. It's a turnover on downs for the DeSoto County Bulldogs. And now that's the 2nd turnover against the Riverdale Raiders. First it was that fumble right off the kickoff. Now it's a 4th down conversion, and that time I wasn't sure what the plan was there, if it was going to be a handoff or a fake quarterback keeper. But either way, Daniel Ulmer just got caught in the crowd and he was taken down. Ball's going to be spotted at the 39-yard line, and DeSoto County, for the second time in the ball game, will start the offensive drive and enemy territory, moving from left to right. Here's your handoff, getting across the 35, cut short at around the 32-yard line as he picks up about 4 yards. Fans trying to spark this team back up after a very bumpy start. That was number 21 coming up with the carry for the gain of 4. Now second down. And Malcolm Smith makes the shotgun snap, rolling out to his left side at the 40, fires it ahead, nearly picked off, and it's going to be caught. That is unbelievable. It's taken down at around the 25, and that was just a crazy bang-bang play. Well, you had a defenseman for Riverdale just jump out right in front of the ball. And what happened here? Still waiting to see what happened. The play took place off to the near side. Ball is going to be taken at the 24-yard line. And now Riverdale actually got the ball back. I didn't see it happening. It was on the opposite end of the field from my view. But it looks like along the sideline, somehow the ball must have been stripped and recovered by Riverdale. I can tell you already, this is going to be a wild ride. 6:46 left in your opening portion of play. Ulmer setting up at the 15, down the far side, and it's an incomplete pass. It was fanned just wide over the head of the intended receiver. Trying to see who the intended receiver was on that play. I believe it might have been Brett Abrams, who just got wide open. Trying to read his number in correction. It's actually going to be Jacob Tracy, the wide receiver, coming up with the intended receiver. He just made his way past the defenseman, but it didn't work well at all. Passes was too overthrown by Ulmer, but either way, a great golden opportunity for Riverdale to put some yardage down. And here's a handoff, brought over to the near side. That's going to be Keenan Walker, who's had some attention with the ball to start off the game. That was his third handoff. So Riverdale has the ball again for their third drive. Or pardon me, their second. So let's see what they can do, if they can turn things around. The ball is fumbled again. Is it recovered by DeSoto? Let's wait for the call. And it is recovered by the Bulldogs. Wow. That time it looks like Daniel Ulmer was back for the shotgun. And when it was snapped back to him, it went right off his hands onto the ground, and a DeSoto defenseman was able to hop down on it and get the turnover. Wow. That's all I can say. That's my professional analysis on that one. 5:59 now left on the clock. Fans have filed in their way here to Riverdale High School to cheer on the Raiders. It's been a very eventful week here at RHS. And as we head towards the week, or the end of the week, rather, these fans are hoping to take in a good game of football. Riverdale just seems to be a little bit rusty here in this homecoming bout. And look at this. This is a story you've heard plenty of times already in the broadcast. DeSoto County starting to drive. Right in the comfort of the attacking end. I formation and a handoff to number 9 here, dancing down to his left sideline. Big pile of players, and that man is going to be taken down. That was number 9 coming up with the rush. And it's going to be second down for the Bulldogs. Well, overall, it's pretty cool, crisp weather here on the campus of Riverdale. And in just a moment, we are going to discuss your game time weather live right here from Fort Myers. Here's the shotgun. Makes the snap and the handoff to number 9 for his second consecutive rush. And he is going to be stopped short for a third down and about 5 to go. Well, anyways, here at Karl Engel Field, your weather report is 80 degrees, 40% chance of precipitation, wind blowing west at 3 miles an hour, and your southwest Florida humidity is currently at 79%. The positive news is that the chance of rain will slowly decrease throughout the night, making it a great night for homecoming football at RHS. Now third down for DeSoto. Quarterback right for the shotgun. Flag goes down on the play. This may be an offsides going against Riverdale, but let's see for the official calling. And that's actually going to go against the Desoto County Bulldogs. Surprisingly, I saw a Riverdale defenseman creeping on the line of scrimmage towards the near side of the line, so I thought maybe that had to do with it. But it looks like there was a lineman a little bit off for DeSoto County. As the clock rolls down to 4:40 and running, 3-0, DeSoto County still in control of this one, forcing multiple turnovers on Riverdale. Number 14 sets up, fires to the far side. That pass goes incomplete. Attended man was Sean Campbell, according to my roster. Now I'm not too sure whether to trust his roster or not. It says that Sean Campbell is listed as a quarterback, although he was the intended receiver there, so we'll see about that as this game rolls on. Raiders hoping for another defensive stop, hoping to make up for their mistakes. The DeSoto County offensive line is scrambling around here, trying to take their places. And I believe there's going to be a timeout called here with 4:21 left in your first. So we are going to take a quick break, and we are going to come back with more information right after this and more play-by-play on the Rush Radio Network. It's 3-0 with 4:21 left in the first. We return to high school football action on the Rush Radio Network. 3-0 is your score. DeSoto County in the lead with 4:21 left in your first as we get back to action after a timeout called by the Bulldogs. That's their first of 3 they have available in the first half of play. Looks like they're going for another field goal. And it's going to be Cesar Barajas set up to go, kicking just over the 35. It's long as the distance, but it is going to be good. And now, next thing you know, DeSoto County has a 6-0 lead. Cesar Barajas, the kicker on the play, he now goes 2 for 2 on the night. He made that kick from around 40 yards out from the left hash mark. And now we'll have another stop with 4:16 left. Riverdale, they need to come up with something to calm down the nerves. We'll see if they can make up for some previous mistakes on this next offensive drive. We'll see how it goes as we are ready for kickoff. The DeSoto County kicking unit is back out. And fans trying to bring some noise, trying to get the Raiders going. Cesar Barajas has the ball teed up. And let this game continue. You hear the drum line, you hear the fans. They're all here hoping for a Raider win tonight. So far, I must say this has been a very nice turnout, probably one of the best I've seen all season. And now he gets loose all the way down. It's a touchdown, Raiders. Wow. That's going to be Daniel Malivert Malivert coming up with the return. It's now 6-6. And you hear a public address announcer in the background. He said, unbelievable. That's exactly what I thought. And it tells you how much the Raiders can come back in just a matter of seconds. That was just crazy. I mean, Daniel Malivert caught the ball right off the fly and brought it straight to the end zone after breaking off a tackle. We are tied up 6-6 with 4:05 left in your first. Wow. So just when you think that DeSoto County has the lead in this ball game, and they have the advantage, the upper hand, wherever it may be, don't think too fast. This is going to be number 23 kicking for the Raiders. It's up, and that kick is good. It's 7-6. Raiders, after a series of miscues, finally take the lead. I can already tell you this is going to be one heck of a game. And the return is all it takes. Well, that puts some life back into the fans here. And now let's see how it goes from here. Well, the Raiders, they return home tonight to Riverdale after a heartbreaking loss to the division rival Gulf Coast Sharks last Friday night in Naples, where RHS fell by a 32-14 final score. The defeat pushed Riverdale down to 2 wins and 4 losses on the win-loss record. And the Raiders, they're just trying to get that bad taste out of their mouth of last week's division defeat with a win here on homecoming. And it doesn't matter what your record is, in my opinion. I feel like the homecoming game is very important to pull out a W. Kick is a high line drive. Going to be caught off the flight to 10. Making his way across the 15, 20, 25, and he is going to be whacked right down at the 25-yard line with 3:57 now remaining on your clock. Let's take a look at the division of Class 7A District 12 while we get this brief break. The Gulf Coast Sharks are number 1 with a 6-win, 1-loss record. Like I just mentioned moments ago, Gulf Coast defeated Riverdale last week in Naples. The South Fort Myers Wolfpack are number 2 in the standings, 4 wins and 1 loss. Riverdale will play South next Friday night right here at Riverdale. Thrown to the far side. And that was a very risky pass. Defenseman getting in front of that ball. Intended receiver was number 8, Sean Campbell. And that's going to set us up for a 2nd down and 10 for DeSoto County. And the Raiders, as you can imagine, in Class 7A District 12 are last, and that's because it is a 3-school district. You have Gulf Coast, South Fort Myers, and the Raiders. So it's Gulf Coast, South Fort Myers, and Riverdale one more time in order for Class 7A District 12. Alright, so 2 receivers to the right here. Shotgun formation, and flags are going to go down on the play. That's your 2nd violation of the ball game. And the first quarter, that's going to be a 5-yard penalty going against DeSoto County on the offense. That'll drag them back a bit further in their own zone. 3:55 now left in your first quarter of play. Ball spotted down at the 20. The Bulldogs trying to fight it out of their own zone. There's the snap. It's going to be fired out to the right side. It's picked off. Brought down at the 15-yard line. And I believe that was Paul Johnson, and it will be Paul Johnson coming up with the big INT. You could tell Riverdale, the nerves are gone. After suffering multiple turnovers, they score a touchdown return off of a kickoff from Daniel Malivert, and now you have Paul Johnson just leaping out in front of the wide receiver to make the clutch play with 3:48 now left in your first. Riverdale hoping to extend a 1-point lead. Ulmer back in the shotgun, giving it off to number 6, racing down the middle to around the 15-yard line, and he's going to be dragged back on the play. It's going to be Malcolm Spencer with the rush. That's going to run down the clock to 3 minutes and a half. So Riverdale now winding past the 15 off to the left hash mark. Karl Engel Field. This environment has a pep in its step now. Ever since that Daniel Maliver touchdown, here's a fake, a play-action pass from throws it away to the end zone, and it's picked off. Oh, that was just a disaster in the making as Daniel Ulmer, he was in the play-action pass, standing at the 35, fired straight to the end zone. It was picked off at the goal line. And DeSoto quarterback is going to come back out. They're settling up. And here we go, the snap and the flag on the play. Well, now Riverdale has the ball back. I'm a bit confused. And that's going to be a delay of game, so Riverdale looks like it was not picked off. For all I know, maybe it was dropped at the goal line. Either way, I didn't get a very good view. So Riverdale is going to continue the offensive drive. I'll say it one more time. It was not picked off. I could have swore I saw a defenseman get his hands right on the ball. I suppose he dropped it when he went down. So RHS with the ball, and it is going to be dropped. But then the receiver is Brett Abrams cruising down, or it's Jacob Tracy once again. So it's number 9, not number 8. Jacob Tracy coming up once again with one of those bang-bang plays where he beats out his defenseman and he's just cruising down the sidelines. But Ulmer's pass could not reach him in time there. So Raiders will try it again. 4th down. Are they really going for a conversion? They are. Play action from Ulmer to the end zone. And that's going to go out of play. Well, very interesting there. They were in field goal territory, but they go for the 4th down. And right now, I don't know much, but I wonder if it has to do something with the kicker, perhaps. I'm not too sure. But Riverdale was right past the 20. 2:50 now left in your first. So we have a little bit of mysteries to solve throughout this ball game. So now we can say that Riverdale turned over the ball and DeSoto County has control of it again. High formation handoff, rushing down the middle. Running back there, just ran right into the storm of players. It may have been number 9. And it will be ruled number 9 with the rush. And the shotgun is Malcolm Smith for DeSoto County. He is going to be laid out by number 42 of Riverdale defense. And number 42 just rushed right through the line of scrimmage. No offensive lineman could stop him there. And he just went right to Malcolm Smith, the DeSoto County quarterback. So a lot of intensity here in your first quarter of play. It's just been up and down for Riverdale. able to squeeze through a touchdown, but they've given up a few good chances on the flip side. This is number 13, DeJohn Childs, the intended receiver, standing up against the near side. Pass just goes wide of his hands and out of play. Having a little bit of a stoppage here in between plays. And that's going to be because it is 4th down. So DeSoto County, they're going to punt as the kicker awaits right on the goal line. He's going to swing it past the 50. Ball bouncing end over end to the 40. It's finally scooped up. It's going to be Malvert on the return. Drop down at the 50, the halfway marker of your ball field. Now a minute 26 left. And Riverdale able to capitalize again on the defense. And you have to give credit to the defense. They have been holding in very well, making another great defensive stop. And at 1:26, the offensive line comes back out. They're trying to do whatever they can to just extend this 1-point lead. 7-6, Riverdale leads over DeSoto County. Okay, Ulmer is back in the shotgun, awaits the snap at the 45. Goes for the rush down the middle across the 50, stopped short at the 45-yard line. And that's going to make it 2nd down for Riverdale. Daniel Ulmer makes his way back to the offensive line huddle. Now Ulmer has 2 wide receivers to his left. And now a flag is going to drop down before the snap. So the officials are going to get together here. Let's see what the call is going to be. Has to do with the offensive line, obviously, with the snap not being made prior to the flag coming down. And that's going to go against DeSoto County defense. Ball now spotted over to the 44. Riverdale trying to make their way deeper and deeper into enemy territory. On to the opposite end of the field. Clock rolling down to less than a minute to go. Ulmer makes the snap and the rush down the middle. And now there's a big pile of players there. And that's going to just be enough for a Raiders 1st down. Ball spotted at the 39. So clock now running down to about half a minute. And your first quarter of play. Riverdale with a touchdown and a pair of field goals coming in for DeSoto County. Here's another rush and another flag on the play as the ball carrier was dragged back a few. That's going to be a holding against the Riverdale offense. So now that's going to take them back a few. Ball will be placed down right on the 50-yard line. And speaking of the 50-yard line, in celebration of the homecoming contest, some volunteers for Riverdale spray painted down a nice center field logo with the garnet red R for Riverdale and 2 swords underneath it. That's always something they bring out towards the homecoming game. Really is great piece of artwork as this is out and it's just barely incomplete. Intended receiver was Jacob Tracy. It has to really be irritating when you're put in Tracy's situation because I've seen about 3 times where he was able to get through his defenseman and he's just wide open. And when the play is set up, you would think it'd be a simple pitch and catch, but Ulmer can't find him. Ball just goes over his hands there. They'll retry again, the Raiders, that is. And what possibly may be their final play of your first quarter. 5.2 left on the clock. 2 men are in motion, and now there's going to be a stoppage. I don't see any flags down, and a timeout's going to be called. Yeah, right now you see Coach Damon Jones. He is upset at his players on the offensive line as he slams down his headset and clipboard. He's not happy. So they're going to gather together here. Try to make something good out of the last play. But yeah, you can see Jones. He was frustrated here with the Riverdale football team. And I can see why. So far, it's just been a game of back-to-back turnovers. As we have this stoppage, we're now waiting it out. And now it looks like we're going to get the two teams back out onto the field after this timeout call. In my opinion, I feel like the Raiders' offensive line, they just need to relax a bit and reassess this situation. So they take the ball now at the 50-yard line. 7-6 still Raiders lead over DeSoto. Man in motion from left to right. That's number 5. Ulmer in the shotgun. Setting up. He's going to toss it away out of desperation. Finds Daniel Maliver across the 50. 45-40. 35. Down to the near side. 30. 25-20. Did he get stuck? Yes, he did. Around the 20. That was a very impressive play on what originally looked like a train wreck. Daniel Ulmer, he was being crowded there by 2 DeSoto County defensemen. It looks like he just tried to throw it to the first man he saw, and he found Daniel Maliver, who was off to his left side. He's able to cruise all the way to the 20-yard line on DeSoto County's side of the field, and that is going to be a positive way to end your first quarter of play. 7-6, the Raiders lead over DeSoto County. And fans, we'd like to thank you for listening in to some high school football on the Rush Radio Network. While we have the brief break, let's talk about the Class 7A District 12 scoreboard. Gulf Coast Sharks are at home as they are facing off against Barron Collier Cougars tonight. That game got started about an hour ago as the kickoff time was 7 p.m. Meanwhile, South Fort Myers Wolfpack, they were also at home. They were facing off against the Ida Baker Bulldogs. That started at 7:30 p.m., the same beginning to our contest here at Riverdale. You remember the last time the Raiders were here at home, Karl Engel Field. They were defeated against the Ida Baker Bulldogs by a 17-6 final. It was a very interesting game when you take a look at how that folded out. In the first half, it seemed like it was all Riverdale Raiders. But then the second half, you saw Ida Baker just combine for 2 touchdowns to hop in front of the lead and gain a little bit of momentum. As we enter your second quarter of play, the Raiders are now switching sides as they now move from left to right across your computer screen. Here's Ulmer setting up. It's 1st and 10 for the Raiders as they still have their 1-point advantage, 7-6. Handoff as the ball carrier races down the middle. That's going to be a short gain, 2nd and 8. That was a ball carry of 2. Raiders now at the 20-yard line, perhaps just short. Ulmer's back again. Is it a fake handoff? It looks like it was, and now another flag is going to be thrown down on the play. I have witnessed games where flags really draw out the length and duration of a game. It can make a game unnecessarily long, but let's hope it's not one of those nights. It's going to go against the Raiders as they are going to back up. Ball now at the 43. The officials are going to rule it. So the officials are going to actually place it on the 33 here. as a result of that Riverdale offensive penalty. Here's your snap. Ulmer staying up, drives it down the middle in a line drive, and it just slapped the intended receiver, Jacob Tracy, right in the hands. He is frustrated with himself there. He was just right in front of Ulmer, right in his hands, and right back out. But, I mean, you can't blame the Riverdale team because in plays like that, you have to think fast. Daniel Ulmer, he set up and just drilled a line drive over to Tracy, so you have to think fast. Here's another one, and it's caught. Touchdown, Riverdale. You have got to be kidding me. 11 minutes left in your second quarter of play, and guess who it is? None other than wide receiver Jacob Tracy finally capitalizes. And is there a flag on the field here? Yes, there is. This can really be an excitement killer if this is drawn back to Riverdale, and it looks like that's the case. Ouch. That was such a well-made play. That time, Ulmer went right to Tracy. At first, it looked like he had some difficulty holding on, bobbled the ball in his hands a bit, but managed to hold it down and race it in for the touchdown, but 10:57 left on the clock, and that touchdown is going to be wiped off the board. We're back to 7-6. Raiders still in the lead, trying it past the 45-yard marker. Here's Ulmer saying up 50, goes to Tracy, barely made the catch. That was a low liner. Now dancing across the 40. It's fumbled, but who has control? Is that Desoto again? They're dancing around as if they have the ball. And it is going to be a turnover. Bulldogs back in control. Well, these turnovers, I mean, they really can be a game changer, but now we have a man down on the field trying to see who this is. And I didn't see how that formed, but the Raiders team, they're down on the knee. And we have a coach out there and a trainer, and they're going to see what happened there. He's laid right down on his back as the coach and trainer check him out. Stop to play with 10:50 left. And it doesn't matter whose team it is. You definitely do hate to see an injury in the game of high school football. And all we can do is just hope things are okay at this point. The whole Riverdale bench is taking a knee in this situation, and so is Desoto County. He's still down on his back. They're not helping him up. They're still trying to see what's going on. Now it looks like they're helping him up. But they'll do some further evaluation on him as he's laid down at around the 40-yard line. 7-6 anyways. Riverdale is back on top against DeSoto County. Still trying to see who this is down on the ground. I believe it's Daniel Malivert. But either way, like I said, you definitely do hate to see a man down, and you see the support shown by DeSoto County here as they take a knee as well. And they join the Raiders here in this situation. And now it looks like he's up. And that actually is Jacob Tracy, number 9. He just got roughed up there on that play. He was the intended receiver on that play, barely scooped the ball off the ground. It was a low-hanging pass, so he was able to just barely make that catch, make it around the 40. That's when he suffered a hard hit, and the ball was just fumbled. So after a brief stoppage, we're going to get back to action at the 46 this time. It's going to be DeSoto County coming out with the ball, as that was a turnover on downs. I formation. Number 14, the quarterback, rolling out to his right side around the 40. He's going to pass it off, but it's too short. Bounces down one hop short of your intended receiver with 10:42 now left and your first half of play. Well, we've seen the Riverdale defense hold in very well here in situations like these. So far, they've only given up a pair of field goals to the DeSoto County kicker, Cesar Barajas. 46-yard line. The ball is placed where DeSoto County is working it out of their own zone. Number 14 back in shotgun again. Sets it up and hands it over. And he is brought down. That was a hard hit as the ball carrier lost his helmet. That was number 21 on the carry. He was dragged back on the play as it's third down. And his helmet just flew right off there before he was brought down. Ball is ruled at the 44. Have a short line change going on here for the Bulldogs as they substitute some players out here on the offensive line. And say it with me, the quarterback is back in shotgun, yanks it down, and it's incomplete to the near side, and it was batted wide by a Riverdale defenseman. That's going to bring up 4th and long for DeSoto County. Well, Riverdale, the past couple of weeks, they have struggled. There's no doubt about that. They come into tonight's contest currently on a 2-game losing streak, beginning with a 17-6 loss to the Ida Baker Bulldogs 2 weeks ago here at Karl Engel Field, which I was just discussing moments ago, and then a crushing defeat to the Gulf Coast Sharks, their division rival, by a 32-14 final score. This ball is going to be punted away here by DeSoto County. The Raiders are hoping to find a way into the playoffs as they head into the final homestand of the season, which will take the team all the way to the end of the year. And now a flag is going to go down on the play. Actually, multiple flags. As we await the call, and this is going to go against DeSoto County. And now is that a timeout called?
No. Yeah, 12 minutes.
It looks like it is. Well, that whole penalty was because the Bulldogs had 12 men on the offensive line. And that does not help their case as it was 4th down originally. And DeSoto County is going to pull off their second timeout here. Still 7-6 as we remind you of the score. 10:04 left in your second. It's been a very interesting first half of play. That's the only word I can use to describe it. But DeSoto County is going to come back out with the punt unit. That kick is up by number 34, punting the ball down, chops to the 20, bounces down to 15. DeSoto County will get their hands at the ball, and that's where Riverdale will recover around their own 20-yard line with 9:54 remaining on the clock here in your second quarter. This has just been a seesaw battle. That's the way to describe it. There have been a few mistakes here and there by both of these teams, but overall, they've been playing hard here in this first half of play. We've seen some hard hits. Top 10-like plays you would see on ESPN. Let's hope we can keep up some of that fast-paced action here as we progress throughout the homecoming matchup for Riverdale. So Ulmer is back, giving a handoff, and he rushes down the middle. This is going to be a big gain on the play as he's dropped at the 35. That was some nice action shown there. Quick thinking from Malcolm Spencer on the carry. Didn't take any jukes or anything, any fancy turns, just brought it right down the middle and found the gap as he was stopped right on the 35. Raiders in their own zone. There's another handoff to Spencer from Ulmer in the shotgun formation, brought down at the 40. And now we have another flag down on the play as there was some activity after the play, it looks like. Maybe some physicality. It's a personal foul and a face mask going against DeSoto County, so that's going to help out the Raiders' case as they slowly drive the ball down the center of the field. The flag did not come down anyhow once the play was blown dead anyhow, so it's a big gain coming from Riverdale here as the ball is past the 45 and the Bulldog side of the field. The ball has not been officially spotted as of yet anyhow. And it's going to be another timeout going against DeSoto County. And that's going to be their last timeout they have here in the first half. With 9:27 left. And your second quarter of play, still 7-6. Raiders on top, hoping to extend it. Now with the ball in enemy territory. So we are going to take our first break in quite a while. Come back with more high school sports on the Rush Radio Network. We head back to action here from Karl Engel Field at Riverdale High School. After a final timeout was made from the Bulldogs in the first half of players, Ulmer with the play action, stepping up at the 50, yanks it down, and it is caught down at the 20-yard line. That was number 3 coming up with a nice catch on the play. Number 3 is Jaquez Dickerson. As he is going to spot the ball at the 20. Raiders just getting closer and closer to the red zone. Here's Ulmer with a quarterback keeper and a fake handoff. He's going to be drilled. And I do not believe he made it across the line of scrimmage there. It was one of those plays that just happen, and you have to react in just a matter of seconds. That was a loss of 4 by the carry by Daniel Ulmer. Ulmer is back again for the shotgun snap, and I'll tell you why quarterbacks just love that shotgun snap. It's a lot simpler than you may think, and now there's a flag down. And that's going to go against the offense of Riverdale. So it's at the 31 now as Riverdale quickly makes it back onto the offensive line, not changing their play call. Well, anyways, you tend to see quarterbacks go for that shotgun formation because it just gives them a few more seconds to warm up for that pass. I may have stated it in a previous broadcast, but thought I would point that out because Ulmer, he has been in that shotgun formation for a majority of the game, if not the whole game. But here's a nice carry by the running back for Riverdale, Malcolm Spencer, as he races down just short of the 10-yard line. This is going to be a third down spotted for the RHS offense. .7:36 left. And quarter number 2. Ulmer is up, giving the handoff over to number 21. Trying to break multiple tackles in the process. Stopped around the 5-yard line off to the left hash mark. And that's just going to barely be enough for a Riverdale first down, now first and goal. So they're going to have multiple tries to work here as they fight it in the red zone. Clock now rolling to 7:18. Raiders, you can tell, I said it multiple times before, but they were looking a lot more comfortable out on that field. And look at Daniel Ulmer coming up with the touchdown. Quarterback keeper And needless to say, he just absolutely fooled that DeSoto County defense. No complications whatsoever. Received a snap and brought it straight to the end zone. Got tripped up across the goal line, but made it in no problem whatsoever. That's 3 games in a row where he has made a touchdown for Riverdale. So we'll have your PAT coming up. It's high and it is wide. And it's going to be no good. It definitely had the length, no doubt about it, but it looks like it just brushed wide left of the upright. And your score is going to remain at 13-6. Raiders, on the bright side of things, they advanced their lead. 7:06 left on your clock. More football to come from Riverdale High School after this brief break. You have 7:06 left in your second quarter of play as Daniel Ulmer, the quarterback for Riverdale, able to bring up a touchdown and a quarterback keeper in the red zone. Ball is now kicked off, and here comes DeSoto County. Ball bounces down around the 20, and that runner zigging and zagging off to his left side. He panics, and he's drilled at the 15. And that ball carrier there, he just had no choice. He had multiple Riverdale defensemen out in front of him, and he just tried to yank his way out towards the left side, tried to find a little bit of running space, but nothing worked out for him, and the ball is spotted at the 15. All right, so here's your snap from the DeSoto County quarterback, number 14, trying to break his way past Riverdale defenseman, and he's going to be, oh wow, that was close. He broke a tackle on what visually looked like a sack. He's just dancing his way all around it. He's going to be tackled for a loss of about 5 on the play. Second down. That's Malcolm Smith once more in the Bulldogs offensive line, playing as the quarterback. Smith back again. Gives the rush. Across the 20. Maybe short as he's caught in a big jam of players. And that's just about a gain of 8 yards on the play. Third down for DeSoto County. Just trying to stop Riverdale. And it seems like the Raiders have caught on to a little bit of momentum. Something they really did need, especially when you take a look back at the beginning of the first. Drops it back at the 10, rolling out to his right side. He's going to air it out under pressure, and that's going to go out of play onto the DeSoto County sidelines. 5:33 now frozen on your clock. Well, tonight's game represents contest number 1 of a 4-game homestand that will close out the season for Riverdale. And the final 3 contests after tonight's game, we will discuss that in just a moment, as we have a punt coming in for the Bulldogs. The kicker patiently awaits for the snap at the 5. There's a little bit of a wait coming up with the snap here, and now there's a stop. And that's going to be a penalty against DeSoto County. That's going to drop them back even further. They cannot afford to keep taking these penalties, especially ones that are easily preventable. They've suffered 2 touchdowns from Riverdale here in the first half, and once you give Riverdale a chance, we've learned tonight that they're going to take advantage of that indeed. This is intended for Daniel Malivert, but it's out of bounds on the 41-yard line right in front of the Riverdale benches as they come out on the offensive line. 5:25 remaining now in your first half. 13-6 RHS in the lead over the Bulldogs. More action to come right after a brief moment on the Rush Radio Network. We return after this brief break from Riverdale High School, and while we still have a few moments of this break remaining, let's talk about that homestand we were discussing before the break. I'll repeat again, tonight's game is contest number 1 of a 4-game homestand that will wrap up the season for Riverdale. And the final 3 contests after tonight's game, the Raiders will square off against big names such as the South Fort Myers Wolfpack on October 16th, the Westminster Christian Warriors on the 30th, and our main event of the year, the Battle of the Bell versus the Lehigh Lightning, which will take place on November 6th. And the matchup between these arch rivals will surely have a packed crowd here at Karl Engel Field. We're back to action. 5:25 left in the second. Ulmer setting up after the shotgun snap at the 35. Airs it out to the near side, getting across the 50, 45 before he's going to be pulled out of bounds. That'll be Jaquez Dickerson coming up with the catch as he is shoved out of play. Well, if you'd like to come out to one of our future games here at Riverdale High School, keep in mind the tickets are just $5 and all home games consist of a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. So be sure to get out here to Riverdale to cheer on your Raiders as they hope to end the 2015 regular season on a high note and hopefully make the playoffs. That will all be decided next Friday when Riverdale plays the Wolfpack. Here's a rush down the left side. That's a gain of about 5, second down for Riverdale. Malcolm Spencer getting the ball in his hands once more. The pigskin spotted at the 44. Raiders now on the opposite end of the field, fighting their way into the DeSoto County side. Handoff, big opportunity. That's a first down, Raiders, and let's see who that was on the play. Zach Sanders getting his hands on the ball. He really is quick. I'll tell you that. He was looking like a blur out there on the field, and he picks up the first down for Riverdale. That is Zach Sanders once more. Three receivers total, and here's a handoff. And once more, that's going to go to Zach Sanders, getting out towards the left sideline, and he will be tackled in bounds. Now with just 4 minutes left on your clock until we head to halftime. Here's Ulmer, giving the handoff down the middle. Guess who? It's Zach Sanders. Putting up a nice gain there on the play. It was a second down attempt coming for Riverdale. Flag on to play for the RHS offense. That's going to be a face mask against DeSoto County. That's the second time of the ball game where the Bulldogs were charged with a face mask call. Now, first and goal for the Riverdale Raiders. 13-6 day lead. And they can really grab this game if they can bring in another touchdown. Of course, nothing's over, obviously, but still, if Riverdale can bring in this touchdown, it would be huge. Right now, they have something they can extend. It's Zach Sanders. And did he make it in? Yes, he did. Zach Sanders cannot be stopped as he raced it in on the near side, trying to fight his way in bounds, and he just did exactly that. We've seen Zach Sanders getting his hands on the ball quite a few times here on the drive. And he's bringing in the touchdown. Touchdown number 3 of the ball game for the Raiders. That was Zach Sanders' first of the night. It's going to be a 2-point conversion. There's your throw, and it's bobbled. Oh, and now that's a huge hit, and now a flag is down. Oh my goodness, that is not good. That was a violent hit. Intended receiver was... Now I'm not too sure. It all happened in just a matter of seconds, and now the Riverdale trainers and coaches are back out. It's always something you hate to see, like I mentioned. I mean, it's awful. That time, the intended receiver, who we will identify in just a few moments, he was able to get his hands on the ball, but he bobbled it, and then right after that, he just took a huge blow from a DeSoto County defenseman. Flag was thrown on the play, which obviously should go against the Bulldogs. And once more, players are going to take a knee here. So we're going to take another stoppage here in this game, and it's been a hard-hitting one, like I mentioned. It's just been that way ever since the start, but overall, it's just been one interesting game here, and there's just a whole lot of confusion going on right now. Like I said, the whole thing happened so fast, and that is going to be... Trying to read his number. Is it number 8? It may be number 9, Jacob Tracy.
Went down earlier.
Yeah, and that really is funny because earlier in the first half, he did go down at midfield, and they had the trainers check on him, so it's been a rough night for him. The great thing is he's back on his feet, but they're going to check him out. Maybe he'll just have a few moments. But it's another 2-point conversion. This is going to Zach Sanders. And he's going to be stopped short. So, wow, so much has happened in a small amount of time. So it looks like as a result of that penalty against DeSoto County, you had Riverdale trying to go for an additional 2-point conversion. Zach Sanders trying to rush it in after he got credited with the touchdown, but no can do. He's going to be stopped at around the 5-yard line. Now it's 19-6 as a result of that touchdown by Sanders. And ever since, on the first play of the game, it was a kickoff, fumble by Riverdale, and DeSoto County recovered. And around that time, we were not sure what type of game we were going to expect. But Riverdale, they got comfortable out there, started playing some more football, got to see what their opponents, DeSoto County, is made of. And now it seems like they're just having a ball out there on the field. 3:20 left on the clock, and your second quarter of play. So the Riverdale kicker is set to go, and he's in motion. There's the kick. Play is going to be blown dead with a flag. That's number 23 delivering the kick for Riverdale. And there's a flag on the play. It was right after the kicker drilled the ball away there. I really am curious about the whole kicker situation. There's been all kinds of interesting stories to go around here, but typically doing PATs and kicks, you name it, Typically, we have number 2 Dante Quintella out on the field, but he is nowhere to be found in this ball game. I said it earlier, but I'm not too sure why he has not been seen in this football game, but either way, you have number 23 kicking. And what is that? Is that a lateral? That is crazy. Brought down at the 30-yard line. DeSoto County trying to get a little fancy there on the kickoff. I was looking down at my paper, but I think that was just a interesting lateral from DeSoto County to the far side, and the ball carrier was stopped at the 30. 3:12 now left on the clock. And that's the reason why Riverdale has been going for the 2-point conversions, and the reason they've been going for 4th down conversions rather than just kicking field goals. It has something to do with Quintella, but what it is, I don't know. It's fumbled. Who has it? It's going to be recovered by the Bulldogs. And that is maybe a slight loss on the play. Ball runner, number 21, took the handoff, but just didn't get his arms around it before he embraced a hit. Very luckily, anyhow, a DeSoto County lineman was able to scoop up the ball. 2:35 and running on your clock as we tick down the last moments of your first half. Here we go. And now a flag is on the play, and this should go against DeSoto. The Raider defensemen, they pointed it out right away. They may be getting the call they wanted. Officials are going to crowd around, talk this out. It's going to be a false start against DeSoto County. That will drive them back 5 yards to the 26. Second and long for the Bulldogs. NDI formation, handoff, nice fake there. Brought down at the 30-yard line. Was number 9 on the carry for the Bulldogs. Racing off to his left side. And now a timeout is going to be called here against Riverdale. And this is their second one of the first half. So we'll have another break in this first half of play. 19-6. Raiders in the lead over the DeSoto County Bulldogs. We'll step aside as well with 2:03 left on the clock. We'll be back with more Riverdale football. So Riverdale has just spent their second timeout of the first half, and now DeSoto County comes back on the offense. 2:03 left in your first half. 19-6. Raiders in the lead. Man in motion for the offense, number 23, DeSoto County, throwing it down the sidelines, and it's incomplete. Right into the hands and right out of that intended receiver, number 32. And that was the same issue that Jacob Tracy had for the Raiders on the offensive line. Just trailing down. It was a one-on-one between quarterback and wide receiver. And that time it reached his hands as well. And it just took an odd bounce onto the ground. And we've seen that happen all night between these two teams. There have been some odd bounces with that ball. And precipitation has nothing to do with it, as it's been a beautiful night here for Raider football. This ball spiraling through the air. It's a punt coming for DeSoto County on 4th down. And it's going to be Malivert back to return it, and he is going to stop it at the 30. And now you have some players fired up here. Perhaps some tensions rising between these two teams. I've said it many times, but it's been a physical game, hard hitting, and when that tends to happen, these players start to get a little crazy, but let's hope cooler heads will prevail in this situation.
Rivalry game.
But yeah, it looks like you had a little bit of small talk between two players of Riverdale and DeSoto County, but like I said, that was broken up. Snap at the 20. Ulmer going big. It's caught across the 30. And look at that. It's Daniel Malivert. And our public address announcer just called him Sticky Hands. That's a nice nickname as well. Very accurate. We've seen him come up with some great plays as well in that wide receiver spot. 95 seconds left on the clock. Here's Ulmer, giving it to number 3. Jaquez Dickerson fumbles the ball. Recovered by Riverdale, maybe. We're still waiting for the call here. It's going to be recovered by the Raiders. Jaquez Dickerson was once again the intended receiver along the near side. He was colliding with a defenseman and it slipped loose through his arm. Here's Ulmer again down the middle, and it is caught. How about that? It's a Riverdale first down going to number 8, Brett Abrams, the tight end. Brett Abrams is a 6'3" senior on the Raiders' offensive line. Clock running down to 45 seconds. Here's Ulmer to the end zone, and it is way too far out ahead to Brett Abrams again. And that time, Ulmer just fired straight to the end zone. That pass had some nice airtime on it, pardon me. To Brett Abrams, and he just lost his balance trying to get for that ball as he was standing around the goal line. Reached out his arm, but no chance on that one. 42.5 seconds now. Frozen on your clock. Second quarter, 19-6. Raiders are on top. Ulmer receives the ball, setting up, and where did it go? Looks like he's brought down. That's going to be a loss and a sack on Ulmer. Clock stops at 33.2, and now another timeout's called by Riverdale. This should be their third and final. And both teams now have ran out of timeouts. But Riverdale wants to make sure that they finish off the first half on a high note. They have the ball at around the 18-yard line in DeSoto County territory. So they want to make sure they can throw some extra points up on that board, get a little bit of insurance by the time we head to halftime. Raiders offensive line marching their way back out. They have 33.2 to work with on the clock once more. You have a there's the snap, setting up and fires. It's caught for the touchdown. There is a flag on the play. And I believe I possibly spotted Dante Quintella out there. I'll discuss that in a moment. But first, let's talk about this flag. It is a ruled touchdown for Riverdale, but let's see, it goes against the Raiders. So let's wipe that touchdown off the clock. And now they have more yardage to work with. Anyways, I saw a player from Riverdale wearing number 2. That was Dante Quintella racing to the sidelines. He may be possibly trying out another position, possibly. I'm so accustomed to seeing him kick. But it looks like possibly they may be trying out a new kicker, possibly. I'm new to the whole thing, so please pardon me if I'm incorrect. So it looks like Quintella is in this game. But he may be playing as another position other than kicker, so that very well could be your answer, folks. Quintilla has been spotted. Ulmer going to the 20. Pass is complete to Deshaun Lane. Clock is running. Raiders offensive line trying to get something going here. 8 seconds left. Coach Damon Jones, he's fired up. They're going to go for it. Here we go to the end zone, and it's incomplete as time expires. Daniel Maliver trying to fight with a defenseman for the ball, but it slips through his hands, and as we head to halftime, your score is 19-6. The Riverdale Raiders lead over the Desoto County Bulldogs here on homecoming night from Karl Engel Field. We're going to take a quick break and come back with your second half of play right after this brief intermission. You are listening to the Rush Radio Network.